everybody. Let's go through this. Oh God, Elgato's still having trouble. Okay, that delay sticks. I may be giving up and just doing this on my own while watching TV. I hate to say that because I prefer to do it with y'all, but we'll see. Okay, I'm not going to keep looking up there. This is really annoying though. I probably have to order another cable and just hope it works, because not all of them do. Hey, how's it going, man? Other than the Elgato being rough, well. Okay. Yes, I know my rewards will be locked in. I have waited until the last possible moment for it. I'm not even going to answer that question, Goodman. If you'd like to ask it in a less inflammatory way, we can come back to it. No, you know what? That's probably not fair. I think you could have phrased it better, but I do think you were asking in good faith. I apologize. Let me walk that back. Um, yes, regeneration and power control are incredibly powerful. Um, one of the primary things in this game, keeping you in check, both for like a number of other mechanics getting out of control, and then also like providing some real threat on the other side, and then also just limiting tempo and keeping the game from being really easy, is the idea that as you are doing damage to the opponent, you are giving them power, right? Because as you give them power, they throw specials. If you don't give them power, if you give them significantly less power, they throw fewer specials. And generally, that means that not only is there less threat from the opponent throwing specials, there's also less pressure on the rest of your kit because you can stay more aggressive, you can keep hitting things all the time. You don't have to worry as much about durations. It basically just makes everything else stronger in a way that compounds. And then regeneration is just strong because it literally undoes damage, right? Undoing damage is always going to be good. And that's true for when it reduces the need for consumables bluntly, but it also is just true when it allows you to ignore what other characters are asking you to do and what nodes are asking you to do, right? And I don't mean that in like a big bad give us your money way. I mean that in like the point of what we're doing is asking you, like the point of games, right, is for us to put a specific challenge in front of you and ask you to find a way to accomplish it. In a game like this, we are generally doing that with like, here are these RPG challenges, and then this is what these are the ways that you can solve those RPG challenges. If you don't care about those because you have so much regen that you can ignore all of the penalties, then that's not a good thing, if that makes sense. Oh, dang it. I really despise... I mean, I could play around the power stings. That's just me being impatient, but I really, really hate the, call it. The poison on block. Alright, let's get rolling. Okay, it looks like you still can't use North Star profitably here. Like, that's fine, we can just use other people, but I wanted to test if the changes they had made to the nodes made him feel viable. I think Dracula's regen is very, very good. I'm not sure I really agree there, but I suppose time will tell. The stream is probably close to unwatchable, isn't it? Maybe it looks better than it does to me. That'd be cool, Akbar. Not horrible. Well, that's good. I just need to not look up or I'll get immediate and horrifying motion sickness. It's not the end. Audio only. That's funny. Like, because I already swapped out this cable once. Like, wasn't working at all with the other one. So maybe that's part of the problem. But then, see, this is the thing that annoys me about cables with the Elgato one. They're like, make sure you're using a high-quality cable, like the one that came with it. Okay, but what if that gives out? Just make sure that you buy another perfect one. Okay, but what if I live in the United States of America in 2025 and everyone is constantly trying to sell me on terrible cables? Because God forbid companies actually make things that are quality these days. Sorry, I'm ranting. Not hitting your block. Felicia! It was 100% my fault, but very annoying. Clearly I should have used Jean for the last one and Gentle for this. Connected to chat? I don't buy that for a second. Chat is on the computer. And I've been pulling chat through Stream Elements for the same way for like 2 years now. Elgato falling apart is not. Don't think that's it. Nice, Kadinsky. You talking about the full separate game, or our tie-in? I have not played either, but I'm curious. There is that, Clubs. Yeah, I don't really trust somebody who works for YouTube to have a great handle on why Elgato would be performing weirdly. Nice. We love a good backdraft light intercept, don't we? That was rude. Yeah, I guess. You know, there's actually a decent chance that some of my nodes will be broken, Misty. No. They should all work. They should all work. Because never mind. I won't get into it, but as long as buffs are updated at the same time, and those do use the same double data, so yeah, it should be fine. But that is kind of weird that I have last month's EQ with the improvements, isn't it? That could have gone better, but he did well. Hey, Cat, how's it going? Welcome, Narctic. I did, Matt. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but it makes sense because all that's necessary for that is for them to do the fixes on the existing nodes rather than rebuild all of them as new duplicates and basically never use the old ones again. So, in hindsight, it's probably the way I would have done it too. I just didn't necessarily see it coming. That'll make this vid easier. Rewarded for procrastinating again. Okay. So if we can't use any of that stuff, then we're just going to use Atrophy or otherwise destroy him, so Chavez or Shathra. And then Cosmics. Cool. Let's go ahead and leave Scroll in, that'll be fun. Let's do... Actually, I haven't used Mojo much yet. Let's do that. And then... Carolina's new. Angela should be really good for most of these. And then... Because Cat's here, why not? Yeah, I also do not like the chat update. You there? I have not visited Georgia, no. I've never really been to Eastern Europe. Closest I've been is I took a train from Austria to Milan. And so that took me through, I think, a very small amount of Slovenia. Sorry, I just said Austria to Milan. I meant Vienna to Milan, which I imagine people picked up, but a little bit different. I do want to go back. It hasn't been long since I've been to the UK, but it's been 10 or 11 years since I've been to mainland Europe. There is plenty more for me to see. Yeah. That does sound very... Dang it, that's my fault. There you go. My 6 Valiant Nexus, I got 2 6-stars. Nice. That is an incredible run of Valiants. Yeah. Scroll and Call are both good. Yeah. Time for both. Yeah, I'm a big fan of traveling. This weekend barely counted, but I was in Austin. Met up with some other Kabam employees, went to a show. Had good food. I mean, really, one of my favorite things to do, no matter where I go, is food, drink, and entertainment. And so one of my favorite things about traveling is that it tends to just give you opportunity to do those things anew. And I mean entertainment broadly, so I'm not much of a sports guy, but that would count. But, you know, live performances, music, museums, theater, etc. Dinner on Saturday was really good. Or no, that was Sunday. In fairness, lunch on Sunday was also really good. I met the other Kabam guys. Well, out of my relatively small team. But at a place called Loro, they have a location in Austin, at least one, and then two in Houston. I've been to both of the Houston ones before, but this is my first time at one of the Austin locations. And their whole thing is an Asian smokehouse. So, like, things touching on Japanese Texas fusion, basically, and it's just amazing. I had like a pork katsu sandwich, a mandarin margarita. It's like it's that kind of thing, right? They had corn fritters. Yeah, it's so good. Highly recommend if you're in any of those cities. Cool. It's a pretty dang good medium cat. Jeez. Hey, Bleezy, how's it going? Hey, work. How about that? Been a while since I've gone for the full decks on his special too. Like, been a while since I fought him, and it worked. How's it going, Omega? I think I like that question, Bleezy. I'm going to ignore it. I know you intend it as a compliment. Oops. Wasn't watching the screen closely. Oh, right. need to nullify, so no point in the special one. Ah, Pagato. That wasn't very nice. He hit me with his light as I was trying to get out of the way of his medium. Classic Venom. Yeah, I think we've said almost every time we've talked about it, Ego, that that's something we're working on. It's just not something we have yet. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. Shadowboxing Assault Battery. What specifically is this one? Disorient, Incinerate, Shock, or some kind of other... Okay. And anyone can take the Electro. It's a skill-based fight, so we don't necessarily have to plan for it. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah. Quicksilver for shadowboxing is always a good time. Mojo is fun. How am I finding EQ? It's fine. I have no problem with it. I mean, I've never really had a problem with it, so... Like, the thing is that right now, it feels like maybe it would be nice if it were shorter. But there are also months where I don't have a trip to Canada and a bunch of other stuff going on, and on those months, I see the need for more content that it's easy to stream for y'all, so I don't know. Feels like it's probably fine. Oh, right. I need to re-up that slow and then intentionally trigger Mixmaster. Yeah, I figured that was not furious. So yeah, like, I don't think that the duration is that much of a problem. You've got a full month. I'm just racing it at the end. It's definitely not too difficult. But I'm definitely biased there. I'm at the upper end. Like, I think I can comfortably say top 10% in skill, top 10% in roster. I don't know. I have no problems with EQ, but I also am not the person who would. So I don't put a ton of weight on my experience there. I just don't want it to get worse for me, if that makes sense. I can understand why work. Hey man, it's been fine. Like, I have a bunch to do, but I should have time to do it. Oh, yeah. I remember seeing this bug. I don't know how long it'll take for this to get fixed, but for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Zemo should not be gaining Furies from stopping Daredevil's Purify. But he is. Or not Purify, Evade. He should not be getting Furies from preventing Daredevil's Evade from the node. Back in 2018, 2020, that was probably mostly my Killmonger Mr. Fantastic era. Maybe a bit of hype. Hey, Kurd. 15 Celsius isn't really cold. You might want to wear a jacket, but that doesn't sound like a problem. That was my fault. I don't like playing on my my phone, man. Even a relatively new one. The new iPad is nice. Just wish Elgato wouldn't be causing problems. Yeah, and like part of the point is to encourage you to dig deep, but I get it. Hey, Leroy. No, it's not Zemo versus Daredevil and Arctic. It's Zemo versus these nodes. I'll do it again with Hawkeye, who has like no defensive um abilities. Ouch. See the Fury buff? Shouldn't be here. Digging deep to rank 2. No, I know work because the first month that we released this, I did it on my alt account. And I did the same thing. So I understand. I don't think it does, Bleezy. I don't think you get. I think the highest it gets is like 160% or something. So you like have a good chance the second concussion, but it's not guaranteed. Oh, you jerk. Yeah, that one I was slow on. It was 100% my fault. I'm not gonna pretend. Hey, come here, buddy. Throw it. Thank you. I understand why you're asking, Gabriel, but I am going to take a minute and point out that part of what you are saying right now is exactly why the previous iteration of the program didn't end up working out. Because you aren't asking how we will deal with champions that might be too strong. Your question is just how are you guys going to buff the ones that you want to be stronger? I know that's the fun thing to focus on, but for a game to be healthy, it needs to be able to work in both ways. Yeah, the problem what's good is that I just used a new one, or I just opened up a new one. I'm pretty annoyed that this one died this quickly, but yeah, I will be looking for it because this is. I'll look at those. Yeah. I didn't get to like spin the wheel like some of the other YouTubers did, and it's not that employees weren't allowed to. I did not have time. I was very sick. I had a bunch of responsibilities. I didn't get to do it. I did get the welcome package for being at Brawl, so I won't say I didn't get anything. Actually, the tech for Quicksilver and the tech for Laura have basically nothing in common with each other, Misty. Quicksilver isn't using any of the combo reset stuff that she is. That's like I think the reason that you're drawing a comparison between them is that because both of them mess with time scale a little bit, but like that's not really the same, right? Like the time scale is what we use for perfect release on Kate or the button taps on Viv. That's a separate thing. All right, so we want shock and power control. Excuse me. Well, that's fine. Yeah, I haven't played much with Sentinel. Let's do that. And then robot should be fine too. Hey, Legend. Yeah, put another way, Goodman, we put out an absolutely incredible pace and amount of content. Absolutely. We have a lot of active players, so like there's a good reason for it. Viv is such overkill on these. The concert was incredible, Leroy. They were phenomenal live. So, so good. The lead singer for Couch just has one of the best live voices I've ever heard. And the band was great. It's a good time. So I understand why you asked that, Alejandro, but I don't think that it really serves much of a purpose there, right? Like, buff immunity is incredibly powerful, and we're going to leave that whole conversation over there. But, like, we were bringing that, we brought that back because it is a method of buff control, and buff control is a mystic identity, right? And so it was like intentionally moving forward an element of the mystic cosmic relationship. The riders that Kingpin has on his degen, because like you're calling it a Black ISO debuff, functionally it's a degen with extra effects. The riders Kingpin has on his special one degen don't really do anything to advance the skill science relationship in the same way. So personally, I don't see all that much of a reason to do that again. I mean, that's what a stun is, Misty, isn't it? Stuns generally allow you to land hits. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see Coliseum in the wild. Because, like, we tested it with a full alliance, but it was an alliance of a bunch of employees. Obviously, are inevitably going to have different motivations. Ouch. I don't think so, Ego, but I don't know. Prowler was Kabam Sate, who also recently made, I think, Dracula and Zola were his this year. Oh yeah, thanks, work. I knew it looked weird, but I forgot. Mess with that in a minute. I turned it back on while I was traveling and not streaming because I like not straining my eyes, but okay. Well, that's the thing, Alejandro. It doesn't decrease defensive ability accuracy. It decreases ability accuracy, which is not super chill on a skill champion. That's actually exactly what the problem is. Sorry to cause you distress, Cat. I think that I think I cleared that with him and confirmed it. It's been a while though. Hey, Walrus. Yeah, things have been good. Had a really good weekend. Yeah, we'll see how people respond to the level up tickets for sure. Dang it, frickin' Chancellor is so annoying. Not really, Elijah. I don't. I will be shocked if any of y'all are playing well enough to feel like you're done after one run. Thanks, Bleezy. I'll pass it along. I know she's pretty happy with it. We're all in agreement that Green Goblin's special too. The last hit sound effect sounds like a toilet flush, right? Just making sure that's not just me. Thanks, Arctic. I appreciate that. Okay. Science. More science. Oops. Hold on. Blocked nerd. Yeah, no, I knew that was gonna happen. There's a reason I waited for him to be done with Locked On so that I had the miss back after the special too. But yeah, Sam is very annoying on those lanes. Apologies to put that on y'all then. No, Broccoli never did come back. I've never met him. Okay. The expansion to Luke just having it all the time. Or was that even an expansion? Yeah, that's an expansion. I don't know that Luke needed that. Jesus. That was very nice. Yeah. Cat's right. Nice. No, that's a rank 3. But Cat has a rank 4, as do a couple other people in my alliance. I am boosted, though. I'll have to reboost in a second. Yeah, I get it, Goodman. I did not go to school for game dev myself. I remember feeling like it was something that probably just wouldn't pan out. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be creative enough. I'm happy with how things have gone. But honestly, I'm not even sure if I would go back and do it differently. I got a lot out of what I went to school for and the path I followed. Still have plenty to learn about game development, but I got time. That old. Gray hairs aside. Deep cut globs. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry it came to that, Slime. That stinks, but glad this has worked for you. Definitely congrats on doing it twice. That'll do. Yeah, there's a lot to medicine for sure. I was planning on going into it for a while myself. I went into my undergrad as a double major in music and bio, and everyone I knew, like I didn't start doing any of the bio courses, but most of my not roommates, but like floor mates and stuff were pre-med, and all of them just seemed really sad all the time. So I chose to be poor and happy instead. Yeah. Good luck, Omega. Hey, Floyd. Be a lot more aggro. Yeah, yeah, cat. I mean, MCOC has very light rhythm game elements. I know you're mostly joking. MCOC is the confused love child of Street Fighter and Magic the Gathering. They're still poor in my country. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I should have seen that one coming. US healthcare is, let's go with a unique beast, shall we? Hey, Ghost. I mean, you basically still can, right? The tags, the multipliers are a lot more important than the tags, and I'll get to that in a second. Um, the tags just give an incentive to certain characters, right? It's not a huge difference. The multipliers do matter, but you don't need to max them. So that's point number one. Point number two is that, like, for something like the Alliance in particular, we can't really balance the mode around just do your best the same way. I know that's like, it's the same way with Battlegrounds, right? People get upset about shuffle segments. People get upset about rerolls. People get upset about, you know, some decks are stronger than others because they just want pure competition. But like, this is not Mortal Kombat. You're never going to get pure competition on a large scale, right? People will run 2-star tournaments, but you're not going to get pure competition on a large scale because MCOC, and I'm sorry, I'm going on a bit of a lecture here. MCOC is a character collector, first and foremost, because that's also how it makes its money. And if there needs to be a reason to collect characters in every game mode, then you're going to, at minimum, get things like the tag stuff, right? But the other thing to keep in mind is that MCOC is a social game, especially for social modes like the Alliance version of Coliseum. Because the solo version of Coliseum doesn't have the podiums and the multipliers. But for the social version, the point that I'm slowly, agonizingly working my way towards is that alliances are never going to be completely even in skill levels, even at the very top. And so something that the multipliers allow us to do is to kind of tune the mode around, like, you can play really, really, really well and get a score that you're happy with very quickly with relatively low multipliers, or you can kind of grind it out a bit more, right? Like, that's kind of the core of free-to-play games, is this idea that, like, time, money, and skill all matter. And the reason that it is generally considered a good thing for time, money, and skill to all matter is that not everybody is going to have an equal amount of all three. And especially in a social mode, this is the important point for me to make, where you don't want to let your teammates down. It's important for you to have some other way to contribute if your skill isn't quite the same. So I understand your disappointment, but I don't really think that there was another way for that to go. Fair enough, Jay. And yeah, it is annoying to miss those pieces for sure. Internally, we call those limited run modes, Akbar, so I get you, but they're not core parts of the game. I think that's alright. Always someone attached to literally everything, isn't there? Like, even when it comes to something as boring as Arena, we all know that there are a bunch of people who play a lot of Arena to grind it, but there are also people where Arena is their favorite game mode. It's the primary thing that they do here for fun, and so it's. It is impossible to make everybody happy. It's also tough to try and strike the balance, but I don't know. Hopefully that person enjoys Coliseum. We'll see. Not very nice of you, Eloise. All right. I like Coliseum too. I can get bored of certain fights, but it's generally a good time. That was my fault. That's fine. It says combat deja vu degen on it or something, doesn't it? Why is that happening? Yep. Okay. Your boy. Yeah, I get it, Ghost. Tends to be, though, when we ship things that are really simple, people complain about all of the things that we didn't get right. We'll keep doing our best. Okay, give me a second. Huh, that was weird. Anyway. Okay, mutes. We're back. I should probably look at the first fight, but I'm not going to. Yeah, crit, kind of like Elijah said, crit rate does allow Yelena to crit through block more often because she already can crit through block. It does not allow somebody who can't to suddenly do it. Oh, right, we start with Cassie. Absolutely not then. Okay, That's a good use for Iceman. Let's do it. Take care, Misty. Oops, Iceman didn't even have a relic. That's fine, he didn't need one. Yeah. So it goes, Cat, doesn't it? Agreed, Elijah. Alright, Black Panther, run back and forth a couple times. That felt almost inappropriate. Alright, turn around for me a little bit. Oh, well. Nice. Hey, Jaden, how's it going? Do I have any Banquet Champions I'm particularly excited about? I mean, Absorbing Man was the first character I ever built, so... pretty excited about that one, yeah. After that, I mean, the whole pool is good, but... my personal attachment to it kind of drops off a cliff, I'm not gonna lie. And Nimrod is cracked. Nimrod has always been cracked. He'll at least be a little bit less buggy now. Weirdly low bleed RNG there. Yeah, that's definitely the idea behind it. What's good? I literally just looked at it. Okay, Black Cat. Cannot hold on to these things in my head. Cool, it's Black Cat. Let me pick somebody who can fight Black Cat. Who was it again? Wee-hoo! I can remember the primary insecurities of my high school prom date from 15 years ago. But the champion I just looked at on the quest map? Who knows? It could be anyone. Brains are weird. Storm is very good. My four mystics are pretty stacked with all your other mystics. Fun class. Oh, Sunspot, you're so dumb sometimes. To chant their name out loud. Bill, 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 Bill. That's helpful. I really hate Bill's special too. Alright, Chavez. America. Yeah, I hope you get them then, Jaden. Yeah, I definitely dex too early. Nope. As I was throwing the medium, I was like, remember not to hit block, DLL. I get it, Jaden. I mean, Gallon was already out there. And let's be real, there are a lot of other penny counters. But yeah, Hulkling's gonna cut through a bunch of people like butter. Kind of what he does. See, the funny thing about that kind of thing, Omega, is that, like, complaints and our fear of complaints is the enemy of making small little changes like that. Because it would probably take no time at all for somebody to hook up, like, specifically in adaptive EQ, have the swap nodes show the next character you're going to fight. With those restrictions, that would be super simple. But then imagine somebody's going to go like, okay, well, what about in incursions? What about in Crucible? What about in other fights where it might not always be quite as simple as just picking the next character? What if there are multiple characters? What if I forget the nodes that are on them? Can we make sure that it displays Ascension so that it's future proof for when Ascended Defenders are going to be a thing? Like, it, you get what I mean, but it's just, I'm kind of ranting at this point, but I get so annoyed with, like, the circular effect of game developers very often don't want to ship things until they can plan them out and be perfect. But then the community is responsible for that, because if game developers ship something that helps, that inarguably helps, that is just flat out better than it was before, but there are things to complain about, guess what? Complaints. And yeah, it is what it is. That sounds like a lot of work, Coast. Which, thank you for accidentally proving my point. Ah, dang it. Okay. Are you talking about, like, months ago, Arun? Because no. No, it was not. Yes, that is a good way to put it. Scope creep is a two-way street. That is a very good way to put it. Okay, I'm glad there's some entertainment coming out of the Elgato problems, Omega, because that's pretty funny. All right, cable. Want to do the other one? It has gentle on it. Yeah, that's kind of a tough fight. And you're not gonna like who I used. Cable. I always make this mistake with Magneto. Oh, he'll be great for this. Nope, he turns off Biohazard. And because he turns off Biohazard, he doesn't get any Furies. And so then the frickin' fight just takes too long. He still hits hard. There we go, there's one. But he would hit a lot harder with 5 Furies. I didn't even look this time. Angela. Okay. Get Sinister sucks for the mutant node every month. Yoop. I don't know why I did that. I do know why I did that. Okay, before I look, I know it's Black Widow. I'm not going back to check. How many more do we have? Okay, nobody really needs anything, so we're using G. Hey, Triz, how's it going? I mean, you're looking at them, Ghost. You can go look at them in your current AQ. They're in-game. How does Purgatory do against Gallon? Medium good. She has extra power gain. Now, mind you, I'm not remembering what nodes Gallon is on. But in the abstract, medium good. You have neutralize, you can stop things. When you stop things, you get benefits like you're unblockable or whatever. Lets you get in extra openings. She has extra power gain. She has access to Mystic Dispersion, so she can knock him down with specials more often. It's not bad. It's not as automatic as Tigra or Wiccan. You asking for like a Spotify? Oh, right. I guess we do that. Yeah, I just never remember it because that's not something I do. I don't know. I think I accidentally opted out of it a long time ago. So the problem is that some of these, like, it's probably the effects of like the Fury is not going to be affected by ability accuracy or something. Yeah, the Fury passive is unaffected by ability accuracy, right? It's that kind of thing. But Biohazard isn't protected from ability accuracy. Because why would it be? It's everywhere else, and you don't want it to not be affected by ability accuracy because you want Crossbones and Falcon and the like to be able to stop it. But it's just very inconvenient here. Which means they probably need to add Adamant Axiom specifically, but I can understand how they forgot that while they were updating the class-specific nodes on it. Throw your special. Trying to pause here. Whoops. Bye-bye. Silly, silly champion. Not on purpose what's good, but like, yes, because I am on the updated client. I am currently playing on a 54.0 build of MCOC. I therefore have access to the 54.0 data, which includes the updates to both like the data buckets where buffs are stored and the data buckets where the functional parts of buckets are stored, which is also where champion data is stored, if that makes sense. So because they didn't make the new nodes completely from scratch and used the same IDs as the old ones, because they were updates, I have access to them now. Okay, let's do a better job with that Super Scroll fight. That was pretty good. Did you not pull, Eco Cat? Oh, yeah, I need to throw Special 2 first. That's fine. That's... That's also fine. Good job, Otto. You can tell which classes I ranked up after buying some ISO bundles, good lord. 1 second. Okay. Let's see, it's 11 o'clock. Cosmics, cosmics, cosmics. A lot of buffs, a lot of buffs, a lot of buffs. Mojo is great for that. Let's just not get hit in the face at the start of the fight, shall we? And then that'll work much better. Yeah, I imagine that particular quest you've been on, Omega, would do that. Oops. Jeez. You know what? I like this fight. Don't like it one bit. I know I'm not very good at Gladiator and I could do better, but why don't we just encase him in Toxic Sludge and kill him? Yeah, work. When you... Once you get behind on ISO, it's like, uh-oh. Feels very real all of a sudden. I have the Relic on. Aren't I supposed to get stuff for throwing the Striker, and isn't my Toxic Armor supposed to be guaranteed? What am I missing? Okay, there I missed the Arrogance coming back. That's fine. Isn't this supposed to work better? Okay, now it worked. What is... Did the Striker... No, because Strikers can't miss. What? All of a sudden, every crystal was in a dupe as well. Yeah. I feel that having played on my alt account. It's like, oh no. This is much less pleasant. Yeah, I literally did that, Gwen. I threw the Striker and the buffs didn't come back. Happy to help you out, Cat. Nice. Hey, Spiderpool, welcome. Yeah, I have opened millions and millions of those solo shards. I think I'm all the way down to 16 million of them. Yeah, I'm such a procrastinator, Gwen. It's almost like I got incredibly sick and lost 8 days for that and was up in Vancouver doing prepping for and then participating in Summoners Fest. And then had to make up my work after I came back because I lost a full week. Almost. Who's next? Yeah, Carnage, that's right. Yeah, the new EQ literally came out while I was in Canada. This was not going to be a week where I was quick. I mean, I could have just done it on my own, but I like to keep this stuff for when I can stream. More enjoyable that way to me. Yeah, no, I know I chose correctly. It just is gonna mean a lot of streams these next couple days. And I couldn't stream this morning because I was sleeping in because we were in Austin this weekend. I had a concert last night, and then we decided to drive home. So we got home at like 2 a.m. I didn't get to bed until about 2:50, so I woke up at 11 this morning. Not really time to stream. Where's that Corvus? That's right. But that's fine. We'll catch up. What stage am I at with building Blue Marvel? I've passed him over to Balance. I've like done the code review. I've built the info page. I just have like a couple things left to do. I still have to tune the PI. I've picked what I want the prestige to be, but I have to tune it. I have to build the sig curves, and there's like one or two other tiny things before I tell QA go for it. And so like that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Ouch. Alright, we got a little bit of healing back. Oh no! I forgot we didn't have the vigilance. Right, we don't get ability accuracy when we do that. Oh no! That's fine. I was playing really terribly there. I think I've... Yeah, I was gonna say, I have so many revives, it does not matter. Has worst Cersei fight of all time. Kills too quickly to heal when I come back. Love it. Oh. Yeah, I came back mostly healthy, what's good, but I was just incredibly sick while I was up there. It was a bummer. Do I think there'll be more content to acquire Deathless Pieces? Almost certainly not with that explicit aim, right? Because keep in mind that, like, most of the people who are willing to put in the work to get Deathless Pieces have them. Not all, absolutely, right? There are a lot of people without them. But most of the engaged endgame players who would do content like that have the pieces. And so, like, and a lot of people have spent units or radiance or something else to get more pieces, right? Which means the audience has gotten even smaller. Which means that if we built content just for that purpose, there would be almost it would be for almost nobody. It would be really, really cool for the people who want it. Absolutely. That would be a huge boon. But it's difficult to justify dev time for something like that. Doesn't mean it will never happen, and it doesn't mean that you won't see Deathless Pieces as, like, options for content, but it's not going to be a high priority because of that. Oh no! Will this kill and rob me of my opportunity to heal? Probably. Okay, cool. No, the Radiant store for the Deathless Pieces does not reset, as far as I understand. Well, I don't think that's quite what I said, Rocky. Did I say that I have full authority to pick Prestige without any input from anyone else on the team, and also everyone else has that same authority? Or did I say that I have identified the target that I'm shooting for? But also, like everyone else said, like, there's what purpose would it possibly serve us to just constantly have every single champion be higher than every single character before? Prestige goes up over time, absolutely. Doesn't need to be completely even. Hmm. Phoenix heals. You can do that. Hey, Pete. How's it going? There was, Cat. That was a bit risky. Um, I think I've tested 7-star Absorbing Man, but I haven't spent a lot of time really playing around with that stuff. Yeah. I've mostly just used it for like, yeah, testing other things like content and such. Hey, Snoops. Yay, we got some real regen out of that. Bravo, Null. You know what? I should look real quick and see if there's anybody else who scares me here. No. Okay. Hey, Vital. Thanks, Cat. Oh, you jerk. Yeah, 16k units should be solid. Cool. More block damage than I would have liked, but that was fine. I like Dracula quite a bit, Pete. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a fair read, Goodman. I feel like there's been a lot done for medium spenders. I also don't know who you're looking at with 80 rank fours. Even exaggerating, that's a fair bit. I'm somewhere around the 35 rank. And I know there are people with a lot more than me, but like, I'm on the high side of a medium spender these days. No, the realistic number is not 65 to 70. Absolutely. Like I said, I spend a decent amount and I'm at 37. That's Gamora. I think the problem that y'all are running into with this discussion right here is that even if Usopp does have 80 rank 4s, even if he has 100, that's not a realistic number to compare to. Because that's not how numbers work. Oh, I actually didn't mean to use Serpent here, but that'll be fine. Wait, who's next? Deadpool. Jesus. Oh, that striker was gross there. Hey, Dante, how's it going? Employees don't have a discount, Canuck. Provided you're in America, my Odins cost the same as yours. Okay, that was my fault. That was a stupid risk. But see, that's the thing, Goodman. Everyone says that every time. Every single time there is a sale, everyone goes, it's created a massive gap. And then it's fine. Like, you need to realize that this game has been going for a long time. Most sales are a lot more ordinary than you probably think they are. Most sales are a lot closer to what the live ops and monetization teams have been doing for years than they are to something brand new. And that means that if the whales haven't turned around and eaten all of us already, this sale probably isn't going to be the one that suddenly causes that. Like other people are telling you, don't worry about what the whales are doing. You're going to lose to some in Battlegrounds. You're going to lose to some even though you're more skilled than them. And you just need to be okay with that because that's why you don't have to pay to play this game. But on average, them having a good time isn't really going to hurt you. And work is right. A lot of things have been done to make this game not just for the mega whales. The fact that you can get both Yondu and Scroll just from saving up units, and not even a huge amount of units. It didn't used to be like that. He's pretty good in general, Jaden. Not gonna lie. I don't think you'll have to hunt that hard. Oh, hey, Easy, I missed you there. Yeah. I mean, even all the SIG 200 champs, fine. There are more ways to get SIG stones. You can get them with Radiance. You're picking up some in EQ. You'll close the gap. But, like, always to a point, right? That's kind of something to just learn about the game in general. You're never actually closing the gap. And every time you think you're closing the gap, it's because we're at some inflection point that is causing you to feel like you're catching up on them before they accelerate again, right? It's like the I'm trying to come up with a good metaphor for this, but it's like if there are two cars on a winding road, you're going to feel like you are closer to the car in front of you sometimes than you are at others. Even if the entire time they are the exact, like, same 30 seconds ahead of you that they have been the whole time. And that is much closer to how our economy works. You're not ever actually catching up to them. They're always ahead of you. They always will be. Just focus on building out what allows you to have fun. Hmm. Anyway, I'll do more of this tomorrow. Yeah, one of our former lead economy designers used to call out that like there are a lot of developers that play this game. All of them have access to all of the characters on dev servers, right? Like if I want to go play with a rank 6 double ascended Sig 200 absorbing man with a whatever the top rank is of 7-star relics, I can go do that right now. And whatever else you can imagine, I can do that, right? Like I could do the same thing with Hercules. None of us do. When we decide we want to play the game, we play on the live server because that's the one that feels like the game. The one where our choices still matter. The one where our rosters are the ones we put together, where our content is the content that we beat. Just having powerful stuff is not the game. Playing the game with what you've put together is the game. No, you can't. That's the point, Storm. On a dev server, I can. It's easy to flip those buttons, right? There is no 7-star Hercules. I can go play with a 7-star rank 6 Hercules right now. But that's not fun. That's the point I'm making. Yeah, and I understand the complaints about exclusive champs. I have complicated feelings about them because, yeah, I'm just not going to get into that. That'd be a whole nother thing. And I'm not even sure I should, and it's late enough that my judgment may be lately impaired on that. But I hear you. The main point is just that collecting all the champs is not the game. Have every champ in the Titan, but no Heart of Fire champs. See, I will say what I will say quickly is that that's kind of why there need to be exclusive champions. Because the Titan alone isn't necessarily enough of an incentive for people to spend if it's that easy to get everyone in. Now we can definitely quibble about how many exclusive champions there are, how strong they are, how long they stay exclusive, right? Like this, there's all kinds of tuning levers we can talk about. But you kind of just identified exactly why there do need to be some. I don't think there's... Oh, that's nice. Okay, some more stat casts. I guess I'll go back to wave 1, just probably for prestige reasons. I don't know. Yeah, that's basically it, Storm. Like, I think where I'll leave this conversation, and I've said this before, is that you just need to remember when it comes to whales, like, we've already talked about, yeah, they're going to have an advantage over you, blah, 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 blah. But, like, when it comes to whales, people who spend on the game are not stupid. And if you fundamentally remember that people who spend on the game are not stupid, then that means that Kabam has to be giving them a reason to spend. And that means that their spending has to be giving them some kind of an advantage. And once you accept that fundamental premise, you just have to accept that there's going to be a gap. Because if there wasn't a gap, then they wouldn't be spending for an advantage. And then they wouldn't spend, and then the game would die. So we have a lot of very smart people trying to make sure that all of those factors are as sustainable as they can possibly be. But really, everything flows outward from assume that whales aren't idiots, and things will make more sense. Weapon X has been obtainable just for units, right? I know it was a lot of units, but I'm just checking my memory. Because he is cool, but I think I have the 7-star. Okay, I need to do Battlegrounds tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are fun. Nice. Maybe, Matt. Maybe. The interesting thing about cosmetics is that they often appeal to different spenders. They don't necessarily appeal to the people who are already spending. Fair cat. Yeah, and I think work is right. Like I think there is value in cosmetics. I think it can activate more spenders, but the core of our monetization is going to be on champions and champion accessories, right? That's just not going to change. That's funny, Elijah. Yeah, I know, Omega. And I know that you're not alone. People like you are why I want more cosmetics, but I'm not in charge. Just probably a good thing. Anywho, I think that's where we're going to leave this for today. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. This is a good stream. This is why I wait to do this stuff instead of doing it before y'all. But that didn't take too long. I think it won't be that bad to get through the remaining 4 quests tomorrow and Wednesday morning.